It is so wonderful to see all of you here gathered. I want to say a few words about Rabbi Silverberg, who I had the privilege of being his Rabbi, and for many, many years now, being together with him as a colleague, working together. When Rabbi first came to my shir, I don't know how many years ago, it was a long time ago, I had a problem. You see, the way I usually teach my Gemara shir is I have students read, and invariably they make a mistake, and that gives me an opportunity to make the point that I want to make. Understanding, translation. Rabbi was very, very stubborn, and he refused to make any mistakes when he read the Gemara. And I had to develop a new technique. When it was his turn to read the Gemara, I would say to the students, "You see the mistake that he didn't make?" But that's the only way I could teach that particular point. A teacher, a Rebbe, plants seeds. The seed is the chokhmah. What sprouts from the seed is the bina. Chokhmah is the father who gives of his essence. Bina is the mother who receives from the father in such a deep way that the seed of the father is joined to her essence, and out of that union, life itself is created. Rabbi Elie's status as an outstanding alumnus is a direct continuation of his being an outstanding student. He received from his Rebbeim the Shapell's method of teaching Gemara as a seed. That seed joined to his neshama, and the result of that union is a more fully developed, perhaps more fully articulated, and more fully implemented Shapell's method. When people want to observe how we teach Gemara, they come to Rabbi Elie's shir to see how it's done. Students coming from Chutz La'aretz, who might know very, very little about what happens at the yeshiva, but sometimes someone has whispered in their ear, make sure that you don't miss Rabbi Silverberg's shir. Even if for some reason you're placed above the shir, make sure that you go to the shir of the master of the Shapell's method. The seed produces beautiful fruit indeed. The old-timers among you will remember that in the mid-1980s, Rabbi Zelik Star Zecher Tzadik Levrocha was the Rosh Yeshiva of Shapell's. And Elie Silverberg was his prize Talmud. Rabbi Star's tzavoah to us, Rabbi Karlinsky and myself, was make sure that you bring in Elie to be a Rebbe in the yeshiva. Thank God we followed that sage advice, and Rabbi Star Zichrono Levrocha's legacy lives on in the yeshiva to this day, over 25 years later. The pasuk says, "V'yosisa vigdei kodesh le'aron achicha lechavod u'lesiforos." Rav Shimshon Raphael Hirsch explains, what is kavod and what is tiferes? He says, kavod, it's my paraphrase of his idea, kavod is the essence of the thing itself. The greatness of the Kohen Gadol, the office of the Kohen Gadol, was reflected in the craft of how the Bigdei Kahuna was made, the precision, the attention to detail, how it's done. It was done in a way which brings kavod, the essence of the thing. However, the essence is not all there is. The essence also is a source of beauty And Tiferes is the beauty of the Big Day Kahuna. Tiferes is the creativity, reaching in yourself and joining the chokhmah of the craft with your own nefesh to create not only a correct structure or a correct beged, but one whose beauty shines forth. Beauty is the product of the Bina. Learning Torah is both a craft and an art. At Shapell's, it is first a craft, and only then can it be developed into an art. Rabbi Elie teaches the craft, the kavod, the chachma, that which is essential as the building block. The tiferes of Torah only comes later. But Rabbi Elie is an artist in his own right because he has raised the craft of teaching Gemara into an art form. In his teaching, he projects his whole personality, his humility, his humor, his creativity into the artistic endeavor of creating the consummate shir. Many of you were his peers. Many of you were his Talmidim. The Talmidim received the seed from him and were empowered to make learning Torah an essential part of your lives. And wives of Talmidim, who have him to thank for helping your home become Torah homes. Your children have him to thank for empowering their father to learn Torah in a most professional way. Together we all join, Rebbeim, colleagues, Talmidim, in honoring tonight. I'd like to ask Rabbi Elie to come forth and accept the honor and the gift.